Streaming, I think. Doop-a-doop-a-boo. Starting. Live! Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player and I've got my Team Recorder t-shirt on today. Welcome to my second live stream. The last one was a lot of fun and there was a good bunch of us asking and answering questions about the recorder. So I'm doing a second one. Here in Amsterdam it is 10 AM on a Saturday morning. It's a bit of a strange time for a live stream, but this is because I wanted all of my viewers that were to the east of my time zone to be able to join in as well. I'm just taking a second to check that everything is okay on the stream. Yes. Hello everybody that's joining. While people are just kind of getting in, I am going to I was going to say a couple of things, but what were they? Oh yeah, I want to say again that the ORDA Open Recorder Days Amsterdam Recorder Festival is coming up in October 2017 of this year, and there's going to be a lot of really great activities, and I am running the Teachers Conference. So applications are already open. I'm going to put a link in the description below. If you are a recorder teacher of any kind and you want to apply to join our conference as a speaker or just as a participant, applications are open now and we're looking forward to hearing from all of you. Hey, here's a load of people. Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, so I see viewers already from Costa Rica, Austria, Mexico, Sweden. Guys, please keep it nice in the comments. It's the morning. So, welcome. It's nice you're all here. I'm gonna get a recorder out and maybe play a bit. But if you have questions about anything to do with the recorder, just ask them and I will answer them. That's what we're here for this morning, basically. Oh, good. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Australia. What's your number one hint to get fingerings right? Whew. That is a good question. Do you mean as in remembering a new fingering? In that case, a tip what I get my students to do if they can't remember a new fingering, it's a game where they put their recorder down and I go 1, 2, 3, go! And they have to grab it and make that fingering and play it as fast as possible and put it down. I'm going to do it with a high G like this. 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, go! Maybe it's fun. But the other method is really to concentratedly look at your fingers and know what they're doing. And when you're swapping between two fingerings, really look at which fingers are staying, they're your anchor points, which fingers are going up, they're lifting away, and which fingers are coming down. And maybe pick two fingerings and move between them, training that muscle memory, but also knowing what you are doing. I hope that's helpful. Let's see. Wow, this is so great. There are people literally from all over the world. Well, I don't live in Amsterdam. I live in a village near Amsterdam. I'm there right now. It's very lovely. It's grey, as usual. How is it where you are? I hope it's nice. So, just get out a bit of music. guys know the Telemann canonic sonatas? I've been kind of getting into them recently and they're really nice. How do you make a descant recorder sound lovely? That is a good question. I actually did a whole video about this. It's called Sounding Good on the Soprano Recorder. It's probably best if you just go and check out that video because I give lots of hints and exercises because the small instruments, they can be very high and piercing. But in that video I give tips on how to make it sound warm, how to develop your sound, make it into something that you want. So I hope that helps. Oh, you have sunshine in England. I am jealous. Here, well, no, we don't have some sunshine. Yeah. Hello from Hong Kong. Hello from Tasmania. This is so. In Dutch we say gezellig, gezellig. That translates as the warm and happy feeling you get from spending time in the company of people you like. This is very gezellig. So feel free to ask questions. Until then, I'm just going to have a little bit of a play this morning. This is George Philip Telemann's, my English pronunciation, his 6 canonic sonatas, and these sonatas are really great. It's literally just one melody line and then 2 people play it together, but you start at different times, so it's a canon, so then it sounds really nice together. It's 2:18 a.m. in Costa Rica. Wow, thank you for watching. Here it's the morning. So Sophie is asking, a cheap but decent tenor recorder. That is a good question. I have a classic Yamaha. Just getting it out. This is my plastic Yamaha. It's pretty fine. I like it. Oh, there we go. It's got double keys at the bottom so you can play C and C sharp. I'll play a bit of the Telemann for you. The low notes tend to be a bit high in tuning, but maybe that's just because I blow like roar. I think these are maybe like €90 or something, but my wooden tenor was 11 times that, so actually it's a pretty good deal. But actually, if you, everybody in the comments, if you have a good inexpensive tenor that you like, please also share, because I don't know all of the brands. I basically have what I have and see what my colleagues see, so I'm always happy if you share it too. So how long does it learn to take to play the recorder? I just started. That's a really good question. Basically, you can spend your whole life playing the recorder. There's no end point, which is the great thing because it never runs out. It never gets boring. But yeah, it depends. You can learn a lot of fingerings quite quickly, and then you can play a lot of nice pieces quite quickly. The recorder is, we say that it's easy to learn, hard to master. So you can get the basics down rather quickly, but then to really master the instrument takes a long time because it's complex and it's exciting. And yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is it's very fun and you can go a long way quite quickly, but then you can also get your teeth into it and spend the rest of your life playing it. Yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question. You have a possum living on your roof. Wow. I used to have pigeons living in my roof, and they would fly into the roof through a little hole above my window. That's an interesting story. Have I considered partnering with an app developer to release a decent training course combining YouTube lessons and interactive sheet music? Whew, that is a good idea. I haven't considered it yet. Yeah, working with an app developer. I'm working with a couple of apps for completely different reasons, for performances where the audience use apps. And I know it's a big thing. It's expensive to make an app, and it's a big investment. So at the moment, that's not something in the planning, but it's a really good idea. I am working on, I don't want to say too much, but products to bring out that can help my audience practice or play. And when the time comes, I will hopefully be asking some of you to be guinea pigs for me, to get feedback before I release it. So there are things coming, but I really like the app idea. Yeah. Let's see, from Gabriel. Do I know how to achieve strong articulations that avoid multiphonics? It's something I'm trying, but it's so difficult, especially on the high notes. Good question. So a multiphonic, if you don't know, it literally means more sounds, and it's where we hit different registers of the recorder at once, producing multiple notes like this. It can sound really cool, but sometimes you don't want it, especially with hard articulations. The important thing to remember with articulation is you can do it without air. Your blowing and your articulation are separate entities. You can train your tongue to articulate very hard with no air at all. This is just a muscle in your mouth. So if you're finding that you are hitting multiphonics when articulating strongly, try closing your throat to make sure there's no air going out, and sing as a practice thing, and seeing if you can articulate with less air. The same strength of tongue but less air. Maybe that helps. If not, swap it round. A bit more air and less tongue, and find that right balance. And if that's still not working, check out your fingering. Depends what kind of note you're playing, but if you can make the fingering a little bit stable by taking off fingers, for example, maybe that could also help. So there's a few tips for you. Oh wow, the plastic Yamaha tenor is $50 in the US. That's so cheap. But I have in Europe, if I order things from the US, I have to pay customs tax on them. And I actually did that with my plastic Yamaha Bassett. I bought it very cheap on eBay, and then it got held up at customs, and I had to pay loads of money to get it into the UK at the time. So that was great. Just taking a second to say hello to everybody. Wow. Oh, this is so nice. There's so many of you. There's a lot of questions. I'm going to try and get through them all quickly so that you all get an answer. Any recommendations for a not too expensive 415 alto or 440 Bassett? The 440 Bassett, there are lots of choices I've been hearing this week. There are ones from Thomann, which are like €95, or the Early Music Shop, or Yamaha in plastic. So those will be your inexpensive ones. If you're going to wood, they will be more expensive, but you can get them from Merck or from Mollenhauer for quite reasonably. Quite reasonably. Sorry for my weird grammar, since I don't live in the UK anymore. It's gone strange. Anyway, inexpensive 415 instrument. The thing is with 415 instruments, they tend to be wooden and more specialised. If you're getting a handmade one, they're going to be expensive because you're paying for this amazing craft. I think for an inexpensive one, you could probably go for a Merck model or Mollenhauer, because they are factory instruments that are then hand finished, so they're still great, but they tend to be less expensive. I have heard of there being resin recorders, but I can't remember who makes them. So if, again, you guys in the comments, if you know of a less expensive 415 instrument. But to be honest, I've been thinking for a long time that a good company, recorder company, should just make a plastic 415 so that we can practice. I mean, you can get a plastic Yamaha Alto for like €30. Why not make a 415 one? And then we can also practice and not, save our wooden recorders a bit, and also enable people that can't spend hundreds and hundreds on a 415 to try it out too. Let's start lobbying them. Okay. Oh, second-hand Ruslatella in Palisander from the Early Music Shop. Of course, there are always second-hand instruments. And at the Early Music Shop in London, they have a used instruments agency listing. Yes. A wooden basset under €1,000. Yeah, again, shop around. I think Merck, Mollenhauer, Kung are good. I know the Yamaha basset, which is the one I have, is about €1,200. Oh yeah, Laura's saying, I've been playing Descant for 7 years now, playing treble or alto, and they keep mixing up. I know. I have the same with new tunings as well. It's good to just keep swapping between them. It's a bit like speaking new languages. Sometimes I mix up Dutch and English as well. I'll show you a good book. Somewhere I have this book. Oh yeah. This is a good book, Fun and Games with the Alto Recorder. What I like is that it's got a lot of different stuff, but it keeps switching between the alto and the soprano so that you don't forget either one. So that could be something interesting. And I think there's book 1 and book 2. And it's published by Shot. Whoop. Hi everybody that is joining in. It's really nice that you're all here. Welcome to my delightful purple and lime green room. We moved in a few months ago and have not had time to paint this house. Okay. Hi. Oh yeah, from Farina, I am now getting into Van Eyck pieces, early Baroque literature and Renaissance recorders. I've got a bit of a problem with not playing too lovely like in classical Baroque. That's a good question. We're now talking about the difference in styles between the late high Baroque and the early Baroque/Renaissance. Yes, I am someone that has much more of an affinity with Renaissance playing than lovely Baroque. I have the exact opposite problem to you. I come to high Baroque and play like instead of yeah. Here I feel like you could go with a bigger sound and a faster airstream, maybe. How can I explain this? The way I would go about it, I don't know if you have access to Renaissance instruments. It sounds like maybe you're studying at a conservatorium or something. If you are and they have Renaissance instruments, it's good to get to grips with them because they kind of make you play in that way. I'm going to get one out to show you. So here we have a high Baroque recorder and a Renaissance or more early Baroque, no, Renaissance recorder. And the difference is very great. So this is your Baroque sound. And it sounds very different to this one. They're also in different pitches. You can see that this one, the Renaissance one, has a much wider bore than that. So this one is wide, this one is narrow. That is going to make a huge difference in sound. So this one can afford a lot more air, big sound, fill it up. This one is more smooth and refined. Further than that, the question of approaching this sound you want, on one sense, it's really important to go for the sound that you think the music should have, but on the other sense, you're also the player and develop the sound in a way that you like how it is. So, as well, don't get too caught up in, oh, but it doesn't sound exactly right, because, you know, the people that wrote the music have been dead for hundreds of years. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but still. Oh, thanks. Okay, please play Vivaldi 442 in C major on your sopranino recorder. I think, now I can never remember the names of the different Vivaldis. Is that, I think it's the one that I actually played in, oh my god, a million years ago in England when I did my end exam, my final bachelor exam, I played a Vivaldi concerto, and it was this one. Good morning. I don't remember it exactly from memory anymore, but it was really fun. I'm just going to stop there before I embarrass myself. Yeah, maybe one day I'll dust it off and play it. If there's an orchestra that would like to forgive the mistakes of the past 16 bars and get me to play it with them, that would be fine. Terrible stage fright. I would like to get over it. Oh, yeah, it's tough. The best thing for stage fright is to just face it and to do it as much as possible. That I know that's not the greatest thing to hear, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. I also did a video on my 5 biggest mistakes on stage. I am proof that you can absolutely, everything can go wrong. Everything, and you'll be fine. The worst that can happen is that you're slightly embarrassed for a minute and no one really minds. So, be brave, keep doing it. It can help to play with other people. Make sure you're not only alone on stage. And I have faith in you, and let me know how it goes. And good luck. And even by just stepping on that stage once, you are doing an amazing thing. So good for you. Hi everybody. Hi from California. Oh, you went to a viol concert this evening. Oh, that's great. I love viols. Viols are like early string instruments. How long should I play my wooden recorder every day so it doesn't get too wet? I did a whole video. I keep saying I did a whole video. I did a whole video on playing in your instruments. After it's played in, I guess I try not to play mine more than 2 hours. Sometimes you have to play them for more, but just a couple of things like warming it up well before, making sure you've brush your teeth or wash your mouth out with water so it's not full of food or like bleh, and drying it properly. And I actually leave my instruments after I've played. I leave them on a stand to dry vertically so that the water runs out from the top and they can dry properly. So that can all help save your recorder. And just listen to your instrument. If you're starting to play and it's getting really tired and stuck, then maybe it needs a bit of a break. And it also depends very much on your climate where you are. So yeah. When are you going to show us your iwi skills? Iwi! Who knows what an iwi is? It is an electronic wind instrument. I have mine here, but it's packed away behind a lot of recorder cases. Guys, there is an iwi video in the making. The thing is, sometimes when I say there's a video coming and then it takes some months, it's because I'm doing it with a certain colleague, and in our busy schedules we just have to find the time to make the video. You should check out my iwi colleague anyway. Her name is Dodo Quiche. I'm just going to write it here in the little chat box. Hi, I'm chatting to you. She's amazing. She's also on Facebook and YouTube and everything. And when I pin her down to do an iwi video with me, that's going to be online, because she is actually a way better iwi player than I am. I'm like, I can do it, but she is really a master. It's fun to talk to you guys. Where can you get cheap treble and Descamp recorders? Yeah, maybe people can share their experience as well. I think actually I should just make a whole video on this, because this gets asked a lot. Again, the Yamaha plastic instruments I think are good quality and value for money. Where can you get free sheet music? imslp.org is a resource for PDFs of early music you can download for free. imslp. But I'm going to say this, with sheet music, it's nice to actually support the people making it, editing it, writing it by buying it, and the same goes for instruments. So I understand sometimes you have to be careful with your budget, and then you can get free sheet music at IMSLP, you can buy cheap instruments. If you can afford more, it's good to support the people making these things as well. So yeah, that's why I do this channel as well. I want everybody to have access to the recorder and the information. But then when your budget starts to allow it, it's nice if you support all the makers as well by buying stuff from them. Then it keeps it all going. Hi from the Philippines, and hi from France, and hi from London, and hi from Finland. I can say one word in Finnish. Miksi! I think. I used to have a Finnish housemate. Hi from Germany. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Okay, next one. What contemporary recorder composers am I into? Ooh, I love contemporary music. I kind of specialise in contemporary music. I make fun of it all the time. That doesn't mean I don't love it. And now my mind has gone blank. I like to work with composers to create new music, so I actually work with the composer. My favourite composer that I've worked with, I have two. One is a Mexican composer called Felipe Ignacio Noriega. We've made a whole bunch of pieces together. And also an Australian composer called Anthony Lee Dunstan. There are lots of composers. I also love the works by Kate Moore. She is an Australian composer. As for recorder works, I love, of course, Jesty by Berio. There's great works by Giorgio Tedder. A lot of pieces by Roderick de Man. And there's so much that I cannot say it all in one video. The one thing is, of course, I am very, I also want to work more with female composers, women composers, not only male composers. You're also brilliant, but you know, to kind of level the playing field a bit, because if I look in the recorder library, it's very male centered. So yeah, that as well. So Art Freak is saying, can you please start a tutorials level for level 0 beginners? Yes. Now, I also do that. That's called having my own students. I have about 20 students that I teach on a weekly basis. I am planning to do a short series on starting as a complete beginner, because I think I would really like to do that and to show information that I think is good. However, I'm planning to keep that quite short, like maybe 4 lessons, because I'm not sure if my videos can completely substitute having a teacher, because I can't give feedback in them, and I think feedback is really important. So yeah, I am planning some videos for beginners. But someone asked recently, can I do one every single week? And I don't think that is possible, because I also want to talk about different things. And if you want to have a lesson from me every single week, then yeah, I don't know where that's going. Then you have to move to the Netherlands and be on my waiting list. But maybe now I'm just kind of rambling vaguely. But yeah, there are things in the planning. The French maker Bernolin, am I saying that right? Makes resin recorders. Aha, good to know. Good to know. So, Jasper van Pelt, hallo. Wat denk jij van, what do you think of single hole recorders? Is it eventually possible to play the Telemann pieces with the F sharp and G sharp as fast as a double hole recorder? Well, let's have a look. I have a single hole recorder here. So this is a Renaissance alto in F with single holes. Yeah, I think they're also absolutely fine. Yeah, you can play as fast as you like on them. It will just take more practice to get the note in tune and get it clear. As you hear, the G sharp is quite easy, but the F sharp, that definitely takes more practice to get in tune, and it's not going to be as strong as your double hold that you can just kind of hit and have la. But if that's what you've got, if you've got a single hole recorder, that's great. Yeah, it just depends on the repertoire. For high baroque and above, I prefer double hold. For Renaissance stuff, well, single hold would be more accurate. Alan Williams is saying the Society of Recorder Players Festival is this weekend in Cambridge in England, and that is true. I saw this on Facebook. So if you're in England, in the Cambridgeshire area, is Cambridgeshire? Cambridgeshire. That sounds weird. Maybe Cambridge is in a completely different county. I don't know. I'm from the north. Yeah, but if you're there, you should go. It's going to be cool. Zereno Gareon is saying, I want you to hear my play your favourite song, Minuet. I would love to, but I don't know which piece you mean. If you can find a way to post the link in one of the YouTube comments, I'd be happy to play it for you. Hi, so creative. Hi, Sarah. Hello from Germany. I like your videos very much, but my English is bad, so it's difficult to understand. I'm sorry, I wish I could do a video in every language. I could make them in English and Dutch. Ich kann eine klein bisschen Deutsch, aber nicht so gut. In Deutschland kann ich, no, sorry. Basically, I speak Dutch then with a weird German accent and kind of make myself understood. But yeah. Oh, but I see that you guys are all meeting each other in the comments. This is so nice. Jason saying, who cares about guitar solos? I need more flute solos. OMG. I know. Okay, Sarah, do you have any advice for a beginner on developing a good sense of rhythm? That is a good question. I am a stickler for rhythm. My recorder students learn rhythm. I find it so important. For my part, if they make a mistake on the notes, that's okay. We can say, oh, that was a B instead of a B flat. Oh, but the rhythm is so important because that is your feeling for the music. What we do is I improvise with them every lesson. So I have a CD of backing tracks that come from, I have them here under my table, from the method Alt Blockflötenreise, a German recorder method. And there's a whole load of backing tracks in different keys and we improvise to that. And sometimes they have to copy my rhythms, or we do a question and answer, or they can only use a certain note or something. But I really try and develop rhythm through that, through just playing by ear and feeling the music. And I also use method books where the pieces in the book come with a CD as well, because then you have to learn how to listen to the beat, how to feel it, how to stay in time. So I really like the books. I'll get them out. There. Just under the table here. So for that, I really like the methods Alt Blockflötenreise by Daniel Hellbach and Blockflautkoffer. So this one is for soprano, this one is for alto. They are in German and in Dutch, but I don't think that matters so much because the music is so good and they both come with really good quality CDs. So that would be a tip for mine, is mainly listening and feeling the beat. Aside from that, you can use a metronome, and there are a lot of apps for this, but I don't actually know them. So if you guys in the comments have ideas of good rhythm apps, I would be happy if you could recommend them. Laura saying, would you ever do a tour and come to Norwich? Yes! Actually, I've been to Norwich a few times. When I lived in England, I played in a quartet, and one of my colleagues and one of my best friends is from Norwich. She is called Laura Carter, and she is a brilliant recorder player. There's also another recorder player from Norwich called Francesca Thompson. She's also amazing. Yeah, so if I'm in the England and there's a festival or something, or a concert series, then I'd be happy to hear about it. With the Royal Wind, actually, in October we came to Suffolk, so not Norfolk but Suffolk. Yeah, so long and short, yes, I will come to Norwich. I like Norwich. Oh yeah, Ritesh Shukla says, can you remind us of the band you are a part of? Yes! Oh, I very welcome an opportunity to plug my band. I'm a member of a band called Jerboah. We are 3 recorder players, one of which is also the iwi player, and we all sing, and a lead singer and a guitarist and a drummer. So the 6 of us, we actually just make rock music, but it's very weird. I realised we don't have any love songs, but we have songs about being tired, we have songs about animals, we have songs about ordering pizza and sushi. It's a little bit strange, but it's great. Jerboah. You can find us on YouTube as well. Jerboah. So the person who was saying, we need less guitar solos, we need more recorder solos. Well, you should check us out because we're playing solos all the blimmin' time. I'm just going to take a second to read your nice comments. Oh yeah, plastic garcline and sopranino. Does everyone know what a garcline is? I'm going to get mine out. It's the smallest recorder. This is half the size of a soprano descant. Sorry, I'll try and play it nicely. And this is a sopranino. Oh, they're nicely in tune. That's nice. Oh, so Babo is saying, thank you for sharing. It's time consuming and you are probably time poor. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on these videos and I'm quite busy, but I do it because I love it. And I'm really passionate about doing this. And I'm just really thankful that all of you guys are watching this. So thank you. I do have a lot of ideas of things that I'm planning to bring out in the next year or two that you can buy, because I want to keep these videos free. It's really important that this stays free and accessible for all. I'm not going to put my videos behind a paywall or anything. This is going to stay free. But also I'm a professional and I'm a business person, and yeah, if I can bring out things that you can choose to buy should you want to, that's also nice. So stay tuned. Gonna eat a chocolate egg. Oh no, I'm not. I'm playing recorder. What is the highest recorder? The garcline. Have I seen the Howard Goodall videos? No, I have not seen them. Please share the link. I am very curious. That sounds good. Hi from Scotland. Hi from Tasmania. Hi from New York City. Good night if you're going to sleep in New York City. Hi from Switzerland. Hi from Brazil. Hi from Australia. I just love that there are recorder players all over the world. I had never dreamed this. Ritesh saying, would you consider doing paid lessons over Skype? I get asked this question all the time. I would definitely consider it, but at the moment I'm just far too busy. Unfortunately my teaching schedule is full and I spend the rest of the time making these videos or playing, rehearsing and performing, which is really nice. So at the moment I don't have time to do Skype lessons. If that changes, then believe me, you will know about it, because I think it's a really great idea. Art Freak, have you ever thought of starting a Patreon page? Yes, I am thinking about it. For those that don't know, Patreon is a website where people can choose to subscribe to you and pay you a small amount of money so like people can subscribe and say, I'll pay you $1 for every video you make, and it's a way of supporting artists. A lot of people do it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Can you recommend... I think I literally just ate a fly. Did anyone see that? I don't know. Anyway, it's protein. So, okay. Can you recommend any relatively easy repertoire, high beginner to low immediate, for the alto recorder? That is a very good question. For this kind of repertoire advice, I always recommend checking out the syllabus of exam boards like Trinity or ABRSM. These books are free, by the way, from music shops, because they just have a great resource of lists of pieces. So, for example, and they're arranging grades from 1 to 8. Grade 1 is beginners basically, and grade 8 is then very advanced. So for example, if we look at grade 3, you have all of this list of pieces you can play, and that can be a good starting point. So we have, for example, what I could do is recommend is getting some Baroque sonatas and starting with the slow movements or the simpler fast movements. Here there are pieces by, well, we have Louis, we have Marcello, Handel, De Levine, Corelli. There's far too much for me to just recommend in one go, so I can recommend this. Actually, I've thought of something else. There is I bought this in December and lost it, and now I found it. Yay! The Baroque Recorder Anthology. This is book 4, which is quite advanced, but book 1 is much less advanced. And these are nice anthologies of pieces of Baroque music with CD accompaniment. So that I can really recommend as well. So I'm just taking a second to read your comments because it's nice to read these. So Mateus is asking, what's the most the difficulty that your students have in the learning process? It's completely different for every student. Every student is different. For some of them, it's reading the notes. I have a couple of students that find it really difficult to tell the notes apart. For some other students, that's super easy and they find rhythm and feeling it very difficult. For some students, they're little kids, so it's concentration. For the adults, it's more about kind of freeing yourself up. The adults tend to worry more about getting things right or wrong, and that can be hard to get past. Every student's different, and that is the great thing about it. Oh yeah, so my concentration is much lower when I play with other players. Any advice to improve my performance when I'm playing with others? That's a good question. Your concentration is lower when you're playing with other people. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. Try and simulate that at home. For example, you could practice with really loud music blaring in the background and try and just really concentrate and keep to your thing. Or put the TV on and try like that. Or alternatively, when you're playing with other people, really concentrate on what they're doing, not on what you're doing. Listen to their part, listen to when they come in and how they're playing, and then kind of reflect on how you fit into that. So on one hand, be able to do exactly your thing, but on the other hand, it's really good to understand how you fit into the group. And if you're having trouble concentrating, drink lots of water and make sure that you've had a good breakfast. Okay, hi from Taiwan, hello. Can you give me a tip for alternative fingering on the soprano highest G, A, B note? So I guess you're talking about, I'm just going to grab the nearest soprano. It's a beautiful plastic one. These are the standard fingerings, and I think with an alternative you'd only make it less stable. So I would say start the note with a very clear tongue stroke. Make sure you're not opening the thumb hole at the back too much. And blow with a nice thin, fast airstream. And that should work for you. Oh, een Nederlandse vraag. Weet je ook een goede methode of site om Nederlands te leren voor beginners? That means, do you know a good method or website to learn Dutch for beginners? Duolingo, that's an app, right? I mean, I learned Dutch when I was in the Netherlands. I learned it from a book and by getting a job and telling them that I could speak Dutch and just having to talk to people all the time. So I don't really know a good website. I think Duolingo is a very accepted one, so I hope that works for you. En dan ga ik gewoon heel veel met andere mensen praten. Just talk to lots of people. Hi from New Zealand. Hi from India. Hi from Australia. Do I play LED recorder? No, I don't have an LED. Weird question, but is it okay to drink coffee or tea while practicing? I think it's fine. You'll be surprised at the amount of coffee that gets drunk in our rehearsals. Sometimes if you drink like a cappuccino or something, milk, singers say that clogs up their throat, and sometimes if you're having to do a lot of light, fast articulation, I don't really like drinking milky things, but I think coffee or tea is probably fine. I don't think it's going to make your instrument heat up and explode. So, good morning, Sarah, to Macedonian, always Greek, one of my faithful commenters. As a self-taught recorder player, do you think that the book Bart Spanhover, The Finishing Touch to Practicing, will help? Let me get that book. This is a great book from my esteemed colleague Bart Spanhover. Yeah, I think it really would help, because the idea of this book is to help you structure your practice independently. It's not a book just full of exercises that you can read through one after one. It's more like a guide to making your own practice material. So if you're a self-taught person, this can really help, because it's what you're doing anyway. It's like having a teacher to say, well, maybe you could try this. This is how you can solve your own problems. And I really like it. It's got a lot of ideas, a lot of material. So yeah. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up a bit soon, but we've still got some questions, so I'm going to answer those. Lynn Nielsen is saying, could you do a video about developing skills to play in an ensemble or along with other people? That's a really good idea. My third ever video, which was one I made with my mum, was about playing duets, and a lot of the things I talk about there are kind of the same principle, so do check that out. That's my third ever tutorial video. But that's a good question. Good question. Will Hardy from Melbourne. Do you have any career advice for someone looking to get into the music industry? That is a really good question. And Will, you're from Melbourne. There is an amazing recorder player in Melbourne who happens to be a very dear friend of mine. She is called, oh wait, she got married, so she's got a new name. Hold on. Hannah Pullar. That happens. You go on Facebook and everyone's got blimmin' new names. Hannah Pullar. She is just lovely. And I'm sure if you were looking for some recorder lessons, then she could be someone to ask. Maybe you know her already. Career advice for getting into the music industry. It's not an easy process, and it's a very long process, and it's a very much it is as much who you know as what you do. So I mean, I've been living in the Netherlands for 10 years now, and I've spent that whole time just building it up. I went through the route of studying music at a conservatorium, and I felt like that gave a good infrastructure for getting in, because it automatically introduces you to a lot of people, puts you on, you get to play on student platforms and stuff that later turn on into professional platforms. So if you're not doing that, I don't have the experience of that, if that makes sense. But I would say get your name out there as much as possible. Like having a YouTube channel, for example. Put your music on Instagram and on SoundCloud and on Twitter, and play everywhere you can in your hometown. Set up your own Concerts, that's what I spent many years doing, setting up concerts and events and inviting other people to play and learning the business side of things, like paying people and having promotion and PR and the technical side. Just keep doing and doing and doing. And I think now these days we're getting less into classical education, like you have to go to a conservatorium, and there's much more people doing it themselves, which I totally understand, because when I went and studied, studying was practically free, and now it's horrifically expensive, which can also be prohibitive. So I don't know if that is a good answer, but I would say making contacts with people is really important. So if there's someone you find online that you really like their stuff, email them and tell them and start a conversation and make this community, and maybe that will, later down the line, you've kind of created a group and that will bring you things. I hope that helps. Jules saying, have I played a piece by Fulvio Caldini? No, I have not played this, but I am going to check it out. That's a very good idea, thank you. Do I have new recorders? Can you make recorder collection part 2? Yeah, I have a couple of new recorders. What do I have? Yeah, I have a couple. Yeah, I mean, I don't have that many. My recorder collection, I've literally been collecting for half my life. But yeah, at some point I will do another one. Hamish Elliott saying, do you have any recorders made by Francesco Livighi? Yes, I have one. I'll just get it. I know. It's in this case. I have a Raffi tenor made by Francesco Livighi. It's Raffi is the design that it's based on, and it looks like a stick. And look, you just blow in the top. And it's beautiful, and it's one of my favourites. I love it. It's a very early design. I think it's, yeah, I can't remember exactly when it's from, but it's an early recorder, but you can play very high on it, much higher than a normal Renaissance recorder. So I love it. I love it. Hi everybody, just joining. I have been streaming for almost an hour now. I'm going to sign off in about 5 minutes, I think, because I also have to continue with my day. But I'm going to try and answer the rest of your questions and give a big hi to the people who are just joining. Oh, what do I think of the Mollenhauer Adri Dream tenor recorders? I love them. I don't have one, but my colleague in my band, Jerboah, does. Just plugging my band, does have one, and it sounds really nice. Hi from Sweden. Oh, the J. Sparks Suite No. 2 Minuet. Okay. Oh, Wilson, you know Hannah already. I was going to say give her a big hug from me, but maybe that's weird. So give her a big thumbs up and smile from me. So I'm not forcing you to hug people. Great. So guys, wow, I've just answered your last question, and this is amazing because the live stream is coming up to 1 hour, and I think that's a good moment to kind of sign off. I really want to thank all of you joining this and for listening and asking questions, but also for being a part of Team Recorder. I could never have dreamed that there are so many recorder players and such a lovely community. And I'm really happy to know you all and to be a part of this, and I'm really proud of all of you and all of this. Yes, I think that's it for now. My next video is going to come out on Thursday. I filmed it yesterday and it should be good, I hope. Aside from that, always feel free to keep in contact with me. And as I said at the beginning of the video, if you are a recorder teacher and you would like to apply to be a part of the Open Recorder Days Amsterdam Teachers Conference that I am running in October of this year, I will put a link in the description. And there is also at that festival, there are going to be a lot of concerts. There is a big competition for amateur players of all ages and levels. There are going to be masterclasses, workshops. So if you are in or thinking of coming to Europe, to the Netherlands in October this year, that is going to be an amazing festival, and I will be there the whole time, clutching a giant coffee, going like this. So thank you, bedankt, and it was really lovely to talk to you. Team Recorder, over and out. Bye!